The story begins in the Horn of Africa. On 26 December 2025, Israel became the first country and United Nations member state to officially recognize Somaliland as an independent sovereign state. For more than 3 decades, Somaliland existed in political limbo. Now, for the first time, that status has changed. Somaliland is a self-declared republic located in northwestern Somalia. It unilaterally separated in 1991 following the collapse of the Somali central government. Since then, Somaliland has operated as a de facto state. It has its own constitution, its own currency, its own military and police forces, and it has held multiple competitive elections with peaceful transfers of power. Yet, until December 2025, no UN member state had formally recognized it. That changed when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced Israel's recognition of Somaliland's independence and right to self-determination. The decision immediately drew global attention and sharp reactions. Inside Somaliland, the response was celebratory. Crowds gathered in major cities. Somaliland flags were raised alongside Israeli flags. For many residents, recognition validated more than 30 years of political stability and self-rule. Outside Somaliland, the reaction was far more hostile. The federal government of Somalia condemned Israel's decision, reaffirming that Somaliland remains an integral part of Somali territory under international law. Somali officials accused Israel of undermining Somalia's sovereignty and destabilizing the Horn of Africa. Militant group Al-Shabaab, linked to Al-Qaeda, warned that any Israeli presence or cooperation in Somaliland would be considered a legitimate target. The Houthis, already engaged in missile and drone attacks in the Red Sea, issued threats as well, stating that Israeli activity near Somaliland would be treated as a military objective. Regional and international organizations reacted quickly. The African Union reiterated its long-standing support for the territorial integrity of Somalia. The European Union, the Gulf Cooperation Council, and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation all expressed concern over the precedent the move could set. Even Israel's closest ally, the United States, declined to follow suit. Former President Donald Trump publicly questioned the decision, signaling that Washington does not currently support recognition of Somaliland. So why does Somaliland matter, and why now? The answer lies in geography. Somaliland sits adjacent to the Babel Mandeb Strait, one of the most strategically important maritime passages in the world. This narrow strait connects the Indian Ocean to the Red Sea. Nearly 30% of global container trade passes through it. In recent years, missile and drone attacks linked to the Yemen conflict have disrupted shipping through the Red Sea. Insurance costs have surged. Major shipping lines have rerouted vessels around Africa. As a result, ports along the Horn of Africa have become increasingly valuable as alternative logistics and security hubs. Somaliland's coastline is relatively stable, lightly militarized, and geographically positioned near one of the world's most sensitive trade arteries. For Israel, recognition opens the door to strategic access near the Red Sea, expanded diplomatic reach in Africa, and enhanced leverage over regional maritime security. For Somaliland, recognition by a UN member state strengthens its long-standing claim that effective governance and stability should outweigh inherited borders. Whether other countries follow Israel's move remains uncertain. But one thing is already clear. A place that spent decades unrecognized has now entered the global geopolitical equation. And in today's world, geography still decides power.